Hello, hello. Well, we're picking up this video exactly where the previous video in this room left off. In fact, I just filmed the outro for that video about 15 seconds ago. So part two. Part two is going to be big changes in this room, and I'm so excited. So if you guys have been following the renovation of this room on this channel, this was only a few days ago. The horrible textured concrete walls all over on this side of the room that are just awful. I hate the textured concrete because it is awful looking, and also because if you touch it, it takes your skin right off. So I had to cover up all the textured concrete with putty and then with paintable wallpaper. And then on this side, I've already done, well, Laurent, my boyfriend, did drywall, and then I did all the seams and all the sanding, which was a lot of work, much more than I expected, and then we painted. So at this juncture, we've done one coat of paint. We're gonna start off by doing a second coat of paint, and then we're gonna get into the fun stuff, because the fun stuff's gonna include switching out this light fixture for the new one. We're going to be taking up the carpet and finding out what the floor underneath is like. I've peeked at it. It looks like it's going to be really gorgeous. I really hope that is correct and there's not like a big stain in the middle of the floor or something that I can't see yet. And we're potentially going to be doing some trim in this room as well, because this, if you see that like dark brown line at the edge of the ceiling there, that is some old trim. I left it on just to basically be my tape while I was painting. We're going to be taking that off. We're going to be replacing it with a slightly more fancy, slightly larger trim. And then we're also going to be adding baseboards in this room. That's a lot of work. I really would like to get as much as possible of it done today. We'll see, because paint has been drying incredibly slowly in this room, so it does kind of depend on how much time the paint takes to dry. But in this video, we're going to get a bunch of stuff done. Let's move forward. Let's go. I'm doing a before shot because I always forget to do the before shots. So here's where we are right now. I've done one coat. You can see I missed a few spots on this wall over here. I've missed a few spots because I did paint this at about 9 p.m. last night when it was very dark in this room. And then we're gonna take the before shot over here. Yeah. I'll be really interested to see what the color of paint looks like once we've changed out this lighting fixture, because at the moment this is a one bulb kind of deal, and the one we're changing it to is of course a chandelier, because it's me and I'm obsessed with chandeliers. And it's, I believe it's a 4 bulb chandelier, so it will be interesting to see what this looks like with a little bit more light. But yeah, here's the before. Let's get started with turning it into an after. I've just taped up this piece of trim that I got at the hardware store the other day, just to see if I like it. And I actually do really like it. So I think I'm gonna get enough trim to go around the whole room. I also like the white, to be honest. I think the white is a good bridge between the wallpaper on the ceiling and the color of the walls. And the best part of this is that it comes pre-painted in white, so I don't have to paint it if I go with white. So I'm gonna call that a win. At this point, I went to the hardware store to get another can of paint, and I made a small detour to visit the neighborhood donkey gang. I am back. I have acquired paint. And let's get a second and, oh my God, I hope final coat of paint on these walls. I hate painting, and I really want this to be the last one. And if it's not, I'm gonna be sad. mystery has come to pass. You might remember recently I opened a bucket of what I thought was putty and was in fact water, and I was very, very confused. Well, I feel the same now because I've just found an object that I cannot explain. This is that object. So this is just a chunk of putty. So that's pretty expected with all the puttying I've been doing. However, it is stuck to a shard of glass. So obviously my first thought was, oh no, I've accidentally broken part of the window and not realized it until now. But the window is fine. And there is nothing else in this room that is made of glass. So how on earth did we end up with a piece of putty stuck to some glass? If this was just a piece of glass from like an object that had broken in this room in the past, there wouldn't be putty stuck to it. And if I puttied something that was made out of glass and broke it, I think I would remember that. So what has happened? I'm so confused. Second coat is on the walls, but you can't see it because it is dark outside. Oh, I'm so tired of winter. Anyway, next step, I'm gonna go around and take off this old trim that's all going around the ceiling so I can replace it with the nice new trim that I have. Well, the best laid plans of mice and men, etc. Because I've just gotten a call at 7 p.m. from an agent that I work with on a fairly regular basis, asking if I can do a show, wait for it, tomorrow evening, wait for it, in Rouen, which is a solid 6-hour drive from here. However, I don't feel like I can say no to it because I could really use the money for more paint and materials and whatnot around here. Also, there's always the kind of like conundrum when you're an artist and someone asks you to do a job, because if you say no, that person's going to go to someone else. And then they book that person, and then probably the next time they have a job, they'll also go to that person directly because they were available for them the last time. And then you just end up losing out on opportunities very easily. So it is really good if I can possibly say yes to say yes. So I did say yes. So that means that I need to leave here probably around 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. So the new revised plan it is now 7:30. I'm going to do as much work as I can do for the next 3 to 4 hours, try to get to bed at a reasonable time, and then early tomorrow morning before I head out, finish up any little things I have to do and do a little reveal in the sunlight so you guys can see how far I've gotten. I guess my next step is I need to clean up this room a little bit because it'd just be a lot easier to work in here if things were a little bit tidier. And then I am going to start cutting the trim, the new trim up for the ceiling and putting that up. So yeah. I've had a little bit of a rethink because now that I'm seeing how different this room looks when it's cleaned out and the walls are done, I just can't resist any longer to take up the carpet and see what the floor looks like. So let's dive in and just rip it up. Let's just rip up this carpet. That is looking good. The good news is we have a nice wood floor under the carpet. The bad news is that it is going to have to be refinished because for some reason this big patch seems to have been replaced and stained with a very different stain than the rest of the floor. So I think what we're going to have to do in here is sand down the whole floor really well and then restain everything. But that's a project for another time. All right, here is the new chandelier. I got this for 15 euros at the local charity shop. Let's see how this is going to work. Just about the same height as what's here now. And what's here now I have not hit once with either my head or my arms, so I'm going to count that as a good height. And to be honest, I just really want to continue working in a room that has 5 light bulbs instead of 1 light bulb. So let's attempt this. All right, I've taken some links out of the chain, so it'll be a little bit shorter. There they are right there. And I have attached my connectors to the ends of my wires. So now it's time to go downstairs and shut off the power to this light and rely on this lamp that's plugged in outside of the room. All right, here we go. The moment of truth. Way! Yes! Oh, it looks beautiful. Oh my goodness, it looks so nice. It's totally different when it's lit up. I can't believe that all 5 arms work. I was really prepared for like 2 or 3 arms to just not work. But this is so beautiful. It really changes the vibe of the room. It really brings things together. And I cannot believe that I bought this for 15 euros. That's insane. So after a full week of toiling in this room, because I have worked so hard in here, here is where we have reached thus far. Unfortunately, it is now 11 o'clock. So I'm not going to get to doing the trim tonight, but we'll get there. We'll get there. That'll be the next step in this room. I did prop up a piece of trim against the wall over here just to give you guys an idea. So that's roughly what the plan is. I think the trim is going to be white. I think so. but this is gonna be so beautiful. It's so much lighter in here with the chandelier. I can't wait to see this room completely finished. Like already, this is the moment when I stand in the room and for the first time, it feels like the room I envisioned instead of the room that it was. Good morning. It's time for the best part of any project, which is heading downstairs and seeing how the finished product looks in the sunlight. Ta-da! I'm so happy with how this has turned out. Honestly, the color of the paint and the light fixture and the floor makes such a difference, and they all go well together. We are going to keep this floor basically the same color, I think, when I refinish it. We just need to even out the splotch that's a different color than the rest of the floor. So that is going to be basically the same, but this looks so different. I can't believe it. Here's the opposite view, and it's all come together so far to work together really well. Like this feels like a cohesive design. And I'm very relieved that it does, because sometimes I doubt my ideas that I have in my head will come together as a cohesive design. But this one seems to be happening. I can't believe that we have, I'm going to say at least 80% done in this room, and that this is the last bedroom in the main part of the house. Of course, we still have 2 bedrooms to do in the apartment. And then if we ever get around to refinishing the abandoned house, that's going to be a whole other story. But for the moment, this has been the last bedroom, and it is almost complete. And I can't believe it. Things are just snowballing and making so much fast progress at this point. And I'm hoping that the inside of the house will be done by the end of the summer. I think that's a really realistic goal. So not counting the apartment, not counting outbuildings and whatnot, I think that probably we can get the inside of the house done by the end of the summer. Oh, it's so exciting. I just want to also say that this project, like working at Everdeen, every single day, but especially in this room, has pushed me so far beyond my comfort zone. Like I did not think that I was going to be able to do a decent job of the seams in the drywall. And I think it's turned out really great. And I also didn't think that I was capable of like doing electricity and replacing light fixtures. And now I feel super comfortable doing that because I've done it twice this week. And just taking this room from the really basic construction zone that it was a week ago and ending up with this is very surprising. But it really forces you out of your comfort zone to do a project like this, and also like builds self-confidence so much. I'm really proud of myself for not only learning these skills, but like being forced to jump in and learn them and being able to handle that. So good job to me. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there for today. I've got to run because I gotta get on the road and towards my gig tonight. But before I go, I'll just say a big thank you to our patrons, and a big thank you to everyone for watching this video and for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed, please do consider subscribing. It's very easy and very helpful. And also, please do give this video a big thumbs up because that is also very helpful. And now I'm gonna run towards Rouen, and I will see you guys later.